Adds 14. SGA, 21 points this game. Jalen Williams, 16, coming off a 40-piece. They were held in check. Something to keep in mind in the 3 wins for OKC in this series. SGA got to the free throw line double-digit times. In the 3 losses, single-digit free throw attempts. They turned the ball over a whole lot in this game, 21. Consider this. The Thunder with their most turnovers in any game this season and their worst turnover differential in any game this season. Back here with Roy Hibbert, Chris Walker. Roy, you're rocking the Pacers zip up.
I mean, that.
You are feeling good right now. The Yesers force a game 7. I didn't think they could do this. Here they are. How did they get this done in Game 6?
Well, first of all, I want to give so much love to T.J. McConnell. He was a man on a mission. He came in, he was aggressive, he got downhill. I wish he flirted with a triple-double. He was real close to it, so I'm really happy for his success. He just goes to show if you play both ends of the court, especially on defense, and you become a pest, you will get on the court, you will affect the team, you affect winning, and that's what coaches want to see most of the time. Now, to me, the biggest thing was also the fast break points. The Pacers took over. They got up and down the court, 22-11 fast break points. They're back to their normal self, what they do in the regular season and in the playoffs, but they used their hands really well. 16-4 in terms of steals. They were very active. And again, their stars came out to play towards the end of the game. They solidified it, so kudos to them. Pascal Siakam was running the floor. He played solid as usual. But if this team has a chance to win on Game 7, TJ, Pascal, and Halliburton need to come play, and I can't wait to see out of the mix of those when my Pacers win, who's going to be the Finals MVP.
Listen, we got to give Rick Carlisle, because, you know, much criticism was levied the last couple of games with rosters. I mean, with the lineups and substitutions. We got to give him credit the way he adjusted, took away the paint this game, right? And I'm telling you right now, the Pacers look like the Thunder. The way they were scrappy,
yeah.
They were double teaming. You had SGA had 8 turnovers. They just looked out of sorts the entire game, right? And you got to give T.J. McConnell credit for one thing, especially in the era that we're in now, where a lot of young players, they only look at the LeBrons and the KDs, and you see a player like him, and you let me watch a skit on him that he did, and he says, playing hard is a skill.
Yep.
And that is exactly what he did. And he empowered everybody else and made them believe. Also got to give credit to Tyrese Halliburton. Another thing that young players don't understand, you got to play through pain. You got to play through injuries. You got to be there for your teammates. There's something on the line. Be a part of something greater than yourself. There's a responsibility for being a superstar. It's not like in high school where you got the high school, or in college you got the college. When you're in the NBA, you got the city. Yeah. And he showed up tonight, and him showing up again is one of those things where, because he didn't have the greatest numbers, but because he was there, right? Now T.J. McConnell doing this thing makes it that much better. The Pacers, yes, I know they're called the Yesers. It's a collective effort. I'm starting to believe that. Now, Game 7, we'll talk about that, but it's a collective effort. Tyrese Halliburton absolutely must be on the floor, and he's absolutely essential to them winning Game 7 on the road.
Roy, Obi Toppin was awesome in this game. 20 points, 6 rebounds, couple of steals. You want to talk about a guy getting after it. I mean, that T.J. McConnell, that influence perhaps is impacting him as well. I know he plays hard, but what was different for him here in this Game 6? You
know, I think he does a good job of filling in for Miles Turner when he's not playing at his highest level. So he guards on the other end. He's up on the drops. He's up on the screens. He's using his hands. He's getting some deflection. But on the offensive end, I think is where he really shines. He finds himself at the top of the key or on the wings, open. Once T.J. McConnell drives to the basket, once Halliburton drives to the basket, they converge. He's open for threes in the corner, and he's hitting those things pretty well. Now, I think if he can continue to do this, he's going to help his team tremendously at the in Game 7. But his size, athleticism, and just the intangible things that he does guarding it helps the team win.
And here's the thing about Obi Toppin that changes the game. So when Roy played, it was a much different game. You had bigs, so Roy had to guard ball screens, but he didn't have to guard guys that can shoot threes at a high clip from a position. So now you got Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren did not play great tonight, right? Because they made him make plays that he wasn't accustomed to making. But if you can put Obi Toppin in at the 5 when Miles is struggling a little bit, and he can make threes, that opens up the floor when TJ drives or Halliburton or Siakam. And it's a very difficult situation when you have a big that can make threes because you don't punish them for playing him. Because if you can't get in the lane as OKC because Miles Turner's not in the game, and then on the other side you got Obi Toppin making threes, that plays into the Pacers' favor. Yeah. And so the question is, and this game is, and this series has been about who's turned the ball over the most. Right. Uncharacteristically, we've seen two teams that are supposed to be the best teams left turn the ball over at a significant rate. And so we'll see if the Pacers, and I said before the game started, what's their thing? They got to come out swinging. We got nothing to lose. And who's that pressure going to be on Sunday? Not on the Pacers. They've taken care of business. And I'll say this.
And they can win in that building.
And I'll say this, I'll come back to game 3. They didn't shoot threes well, and they won the game. If the Pacers don't win the NBA championship, they will look back at that game because that was their game when they played the exact way they wanted with the exact game plan, took away their threes, and forced them to make twos, and they threw the game away in the fourth quarter.
Roy, I'll tell you about turnovers is SGA. Like 8 turnovers. That is tied for the most by a player in an NBA Finals game in the last 40 years. What happened with him in terms of protecting the basketball? They just did not look like the same Thunder team that we saw in the regular season. This didn't even look like the same Thunder team we saw in this series.
Yeah. I think C-Walk touched on this a little bit. It's just the double team, how they double team them. When he's in the post and they double team him, he's such a good passer. He can whip that pass out and whip and find three-point shooters. What C-Walk talked about earlier, at the point of the screen, when you have Obi Toppin up and not back, they're able to double team, get the ball out of his hands, and he's actually throwing the ball into traffic. He's throwing it through hands, and that's when the Pacers were able to get, 19 steals or 16 steals on the night. So he has to be able to watch that and adjust for the next game. But the fact that when they go to double, that's the most important time and the most important thing, and that kind of screwed up his rhythm. Because I feel like you can't throw the same steady diet of defense at SGA. He's too smart. Neesmith, if he's going to keep fighting over and getting caught behind, he's going to end up being late. He's going to foul at the end of the shot clock and everything like that. So you have to go under sometimes. You have to mix it up. Don't let him get the same rhythm.
Are you surprised by the performance of SGA, and are you somewhat surprised by this performance from the Pacers? Because they started 0 of 8 in this game, the Pacers did. And then they turned, like this game was over at halftime. They outscored them 36-17 in that second quarter. I mean, it was over then. I can't sit up here and go, yeah, I expected, I didn't see this coming from the Pacers.
Listen, I will admit that I'm like, okay, it's going to be very tough if Halliburton doesn't play. And, you know, again, it ended up being much to do about nothing because he's actually a little bit more healthier than we thought. So, again, little gamesmanship there by the Pacers, right? I'm sure the Thunder, right, won't take it. We'll take it a little bit more serious going into Game 7. But I'll say this. I've always felt in this series, even when they set the line at -700, I said that's absolutely ridiculous. This team beat Cleveland. This team beat New York and underdogs, and you're saying -700? And they're underdog every single game.
Yes.
And now it's going into Game 7. I'm telling you right now, I would be afraid. Now, they're still going to be underdogs.
Yeah, the line is 8.5.
Right, and that's a good line. But I'm saying every single possession, because you know that Indiana in the fourth quarter, they're the team that can come back, right?
Yep.
The question is, can they duplicate what they're doing now? Because it's still a team that's the average age of 24 years old. You saw what SGA was capable of. You saw what J-Dub was capable of last game. They threw up a stinker. Now, we can sit back and say, well, they did it against, you know, this team, and they did it against Denver. This is Game 7 of the finals with a young team. And you got T.J. McConnell, experienced guy. You got Halliburton, experienced player. Siakam. You got a lot of different pieces where you can easily say that this game could swing. All of a sudden, what if Miles Turner decides to show up offensively? I'm just saying, this thing could get really, really funky really quickly. Now, again, let's not disrespect OKC, but
absolutely not.
It's -700, and now we're in Game 7. And who would be surprised? Have they been decidedly? Think about it. Have they been decidedly better than the Pacers? I don't think so. I really don't think so. It's been a series, so it could go either way, in my opinion.
It's been a series, and a series that is going to a Game 7 on Sunday night, 8 Eastern, over on ABC. Wow. I'm sitting here stunned that we have a Game 7 between the Pacers and the Thunder. The first Game 7 in the NBA Finals since 2016 when the Cavaliers, my Cavaliers, rallied from a 31-sit. LeBron James leading the Cavs over the Warriors. I had to work that in there. Of course, it's a drop note TV jargon, so I explained it as well. We've got plenty more to talk about here as the Pacers force a Game 7. Still ahead. We look ahead, a deep dive into Game 7. What has to happen for each team to come away with an NBA championship? That's next on CBS Sports HQ. Keep it locked.
Here we go. The 2025 CBS Sports NFL schedule is here. 18 glorious Sundays.
He's got his receiver touchdown.
Filled with rematches.
Oh, the play of the year.
And rivalries.
Touchdown, Bengals.
Plus, plenty of superstar showdowns. And an epic matchup between the Chiefs and Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Clear your Sundays beginning September 7th for the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Someone targeted our daughter.
What are we going to do about it? I've got an idea.
Let's go.
NCIS Tony and Ziva streaming this fall on Paramount Plus.
One of the best movies of the year
In it.
is now streaming on Paramount Plus.
What are we dealing with here?
There's a hostage situation.
Get the crew in.
It's gripping from beginning to end.
We can't make one mistake.
September 5, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
The most original musical ever is now streaming on Paramount Plus.
I'm just giving the people what they want.
Better Man absolutely sizzles from start to finish. Better Man now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is Chicago. Streets always gonna have a villain.
To protect the city, we have to do something. Women, it's time to get to work.
The Shot. New season streaming May 16th. Only on the Paramount Plus with Showtime plan.
These are the voyages of the Patrick Starship Enterprise.
Where's the sponge?
We're dream.
Whether you like SpongeBob, Star Trek, or both, find your mountain on Paramount Plus.
Novocaine?
Novocaine is now streaming on Paramount Plus.
You're gonna love this.
Oh, you're strong.
It's wildly entertaining and an absolute blast.
I'm in.
Novocaine, rated R, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
I wasn't ready to die.
The wait is over.
I need to know what happened.
Discover the mystery everyone's been talking about. School Spirits, every episode of all seasons now streaming on Paramount Plus.
What's he like? The happy-faced killer?
You mean my dad? Be glad you never have to know.
You think that you're so much better than me. You're just like your old man.
I'm not like you at all.
Problem solved.
Mobland, new series now streaming on Paramount Plus.
She knows, and I know she knows.
Not good news for the Oklahoma City Thunder. If you get blown out with a chance to clinch the NBA Finals in Game 6, chances are you're going to lose in Game 7. Take a look at the history here in the NBA Finals, and I'll point out the Supersonics in 1978. They lost by 35 on the road in Game 6 in 1978, which would become the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Supersonics lost Game 7 at home against the Bullets. Now, the Supersonics won a title the next year, but I'm just saying, if you're a Pacers fan, you're feeling pretty good because you like history. Speaking of history, this from 2 weeks ago.
My Pacers are going to get it done. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be clean. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be a 7-game series. We're going to take it home and at OKC's floor, we're going to get it done.
There he is, the prognosticator himself, the wizard.
Get a tight shot on that.
They're going to work their magic. How do you feel about that prediction 2 weeks ago, and here we are getting a Game 7 like you predicted?
Well, I always felt that, you know, the OKC was going to be at the top of the mountain. They've been great all season long on both ends of the court. But I always believe in my Pacers because of the pace and the fact that they've shown that they can come back from down 15, 20 at any point in the season against like very talented players. But for me, going into a Game 7, I played in the Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals, but obviously not in the finals. But we lost to LeBron James and the Heatles. And one thing I remember from them was they had nobody warmed, like nobody came out for the starting five. When they announced it, they were all locked in. They were all locked in, and they hit us first. I know we've reiterated that so many times, but when you go into a Game 7, everything is on the line. You have to come out aggressive from the start, hit shots, you have to be perfect. Now, for me, I think the Pacers can do it. If they can continue to disrupt SGA on the defensive end, get out on the break, play with pace, I think they're going to be great. But in terms of OKC, I think they need to do a better job of adjusting to those traps and shooting the ball better from the three-point line. 26% from the three-point line, 8 for 31 from the three is not going to cut it. And I think that Chet Holmgren's going to have to really step up because, like you said before, they double SGA. They're going to kick it back out to him. He needs to get 1, 2, 3 top the key threes easy to get them going, to get that first punch, to get blood first, Game 7.
Right, first of all, for the Thunder, they're at home.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Which they've been great, best in the league.
10-2 at home this postseason.
Exactly.
Chris.
So it's going to, even though Indiana did win a game there, they, you know, we still don't know how they won that game, but they did, and that's been the story of their playoff season. But the Thunder, SGA's got to get back to being SGA. The question is, will they get into that groove early? Because I'm telling you right now, that plane ride back, you know, who's ever been in that situation? You always think about muscle memory. Who's been in that situation for that team? Caruso's been in a championship, but where's Caruso tonight? We haven't said his name one time, right? Chet struggled tonight.
Yeah.
So the question is, where are the answers? Because they relied on two guys to really carry them. And in the last couple of days, that's all we talked about. SGA and all the records he brought in, and J-Dub. And you got to give the Pacers credit because they bottled them up. They turned them over. They made them look bad tonight. I'm going to be honest. They made them look bad. So the Pacers now, they're going to have to go in there and say, hey, guys, who's the pressure on, us or them? No one expect minus 700 every game. We're still an underdog, right? I picked the Pacers in 6 because I thought they had the better makeup and they were the older team. A little bit worried when Halliburton got hurt. T.J. McConnell has saved the playoff season. The question is, going into this game, what is Rick Carlisle, what kind of game plan is he going to have, and will they have the discipline to execute it? And he hasn't played well the last few games, but I'm predicting, and it depends on how they use their rotation, that Ben Mathurin is going to have to show up for them to win Game 7. Somebody that has not played well is going to have to do something extra for them to win. I think Mathurin is going to be that X factor. If they put him in, because tonight he was non-existent. He looked like he didn't want to be out there. But it's all hands on deck, and we'll see what happens in Game 7. But it's going to, hey, listen, the NBA, they're talking about the ratings down, Hakeem. They couldn't ask for a better situation. Sunday night, 8 o'clock, you got Game 7 of the NBA Finals, a team who was a prohibitive favorite playing against the Yesers, a team that no one thought could get there. I think they're a team of destiny.
Roy, I want to take you back to the second round with the Thunder.
Yes.
They went on the road, lost to the Denver Nuggets. Similar situation here. They went to Indianapolis, they lost on the road. They went home and beat the Nuggets in a Game 7 to get to the Western Conference Finals. How much are you using that experience? Because you said the limited experience. How much of that experience do you use?
Oh, yeah. I mean, every little step, those are part of the foundation. Those are part of the bricks that you build as a team that you rely on when you're in those situations. When you're in a huddle and, you know, the team is went on a run, you say, you talk to your teammates in the huddle and say, hey, we've been here before, guys. We've been in this situation. We rely on each other, and we're just going to keep doing the things we've done before. Just keep whittling away until we get the result that we want. Because OKC imposes their will on other teams, and they did that against Denver. They've done that every round so far. I expect a very competitive game. I think it's going to go down to like the last 4 or 5 minutes. It's not going to be easy, but obviously I have my Pacers winning.
Listen, if they employ the same game plan, don't foul, right? Bottle up J-Dub and bottle up Shea, right? Don't put them on the foul line. That's important. You mentioned that double-digit foul line. Don't put them on the foul line. right? If Chet Holmgren does not show up and Caruso does not give him that spark off the bench, and the one X factor that I say about the Pacers that I don't like about OKC, even though they can do it at times, is that if the Pacers can make threes, that's the key factor. I mean, look at the threes they made tonight. That is the key factor. In the 2 games that they struggled mightily, right, they didn't make threes. And again, they escaped Game 4. I'll say it again. They escaped Game 4 because the Pacers handed it to them. If they don't shoot threes well and they don't foul, hard task, I'm telling you, it's going to be a game. And obviously, Halliburton's got to play too. That's the other part to it, which we fully expect him to play.
Yeah, you explained the SGA. In the 3 losses, he got to the free throw line single-digit times. In the 3 wins, double-digit free throw attempts. All right, look at this. OKC has won 7 straight home Game 7s. OKC is 10-2 at home this postseason. Home teams are 6-1 in the last 7 NBA Finals Game 7s. Roy, why am I supposed to believe, because I know you're picking the Pacers here in Game 7, why am I supposed to believe in the Pacers in Game 7?
I mean, I think that this is a team that, without the numbers, it's just like, give us one. Like,
throw out the numbers?
Throw out the numbers. Like, give us one. You guys have had KD. You guys have had KD, you know, James Harden, Jeff Green, Russell Westbrook. Like, can we get something? We haven't had a MVP or anything like that. You know, let us have this one. I know this is not the scientific or the numbers breakdown, but we need to cut us a break. You know,
you're going to have to earn it, Roy.
Yeah, cut us a break,
They ain't going to let you do nothing. They're going to have to Chris, they're going to have to earn this on the road.
Listen, as I said before, I preface it by saying minus 700. Has there ever been a team that's been minus 700 going into the finals?
There's been some pretty big favorites, but
that's a huge
favorite.
And you're talking about one of the best teams offensively and defensively, winning on the road at home with the team with the MVP and one of the toughest places to play, right, in the NBA. If they get this done. But again, as I said before, who had the tougher route, Hakeem, to the finals?
Yeah, absolutely.
At Cleveland, at New York, and now you got to play at the Paycom. Those guys have been tested. If I'm OKC, I'm a bit afraid. Mark Daigneault, I mean, great coach. Has he been here before? Shai Gilgeous, great player. Has he been here before? Not that anybody on the other than Pascal Siakam's been there, but at the end of the day, Rick Carlisle's been there. So I'm looking at this game going like, on the road, I'm gonna trust the road team. I know it sounds crazy.
It does.
It sounds crazy, but I would not be surprised if it's a Pacer blowout.
Wow.
I mean, I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if the Thunder come out and throw a dud.
Okay.
On Game 7. I wouldn't be surprised.
We're gonna be here for you. Roy Hibbert, Chris Walker, Hakeem Dermish on CBS Sports HQ. We are going to take you all the way to the end of the season. We have got ourselves a Game 7 Sunday night, 8 Eastern. You can watch the game on ABC. This is the first Game 7 of the NBA Finals since 2016. Certainly all of the stats and the numbers favor OKC, but all of the numbers and the stats have favored the Thunder in this series. And here we are at a Game 7. So Pacers and Thunder, for all the marbles, Indiana 1 win away from its first NBA championship in franchise history. OKC trying to deliver the first NBA championship to Oklahoma City. It all goes down Sunday night. Coming up, full highlights from Game 6. Tyrese Halliburton goes from 0 to hero, forcing a Game 7 on the road in Oklahoma City.
Go. The 2025 CBS Sports NFL schedule is here. 18 glorious Sundays.
He's got his receiver touchdown.
Filled with rematches.
Oh, the play of the year.
And rivalries.
Touchdown, Bengals.